Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books. We're looking at my seasonal TBR for September through December. So, as a quick refresher for anybody who gives a fuck, probably nobody, it's fine. What I do is on my Goodreads shelves, I have TBR romance, TBR historical fiction, TBR fantasy, TBR contemporary / general fiction, and I filter those into a TBR soonish, and then from there I filter into TBR next. Okay, and I always keep 30 books in the TBR next, and they're just ones that, like, I'm just feeling more anticipatory toward, right? That is a word, anticipatory. Is it a word? It feels like a word. And then I do the random generator, and for the seasonal TBR, we pick 2 from the TBR next, and then we have my classics, kind of constant TBR, and I pick 1 from there. The Pusheenicorn Pick, which as of recording this, you guys haven't voted on, but if you have voted and voted is closing, I will pop up when it comes time what that book is. There's 1 book that you guys vote for that. Nonfiction TBR, 1 from that as well. And then reread TBR, and from this I pick 2. So yeah, for the Pusheenicorn Pick, I'm not sure which one it is. The choices are Incendiary, The Unmarked Girl, and Aisha at Last. So if the voting has closed, I will pop up what the winner is on the screen. If the voting has not closed, then I will put a link for the voting somewhere or to that video. From my TBR next, the first book selected is The Queen's Poisoner by Jeff Wheeler. This is young adult fantasy. It has pretty high ratings on Goodreads, a 4.03, and that's out of 30,000, over 30,000 ratings. So that's pretty good. There's a king who has a fearsome reputation. He killed the rightful heirs. He's a ruthless punisher of traitors. There's a duke that tries to depose him but loses. But now, because he lost, the duke has to hand over his young son as the king's hostage. This boy, Owen, learns to survive in the court of King Fountain. New evidence of his father's betrayal threatens to seal his fate, and he has to win the vengeful king's favor. The next book that the generator picked is The Chaos of Stars. This is actually by Kiersten White, one of my favorite authors, but it is an older work of hers. It is shelved as fantasy, young adult, mythology, romance, paranormal, all these things. I don't really know anything about it. It's just been on this, and I typically love Kiersten White. We have Isadora with a screwed up family. She's a human daughter of the ancient Egyptian gods Isis and Osiris. She gets a chance to move to California with her brother. She jumps on it. She quickly learns there's no such thing as a clean break from family. The classic pick I'm kind of scared of. That is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. And I've just heard that this is like really a tough read. It's a story of a mentally disabled man whose experimental quest for intelligence mirrors that of Algernon, an extraordinary lab mouse. It says in diary entries, Charlie tells how a brain operation increases his IQ and changes his life. As the experimental procedure takes effect, Charlie's intelligence expands until it surpasses that of the doctors who engineered his metamorphosis. Seems to be a scientific breakthrough until Algernon begins his sudden, unexpected deterioration. Will the same happen to Charlie? And yeah, I've just heard that it's like hella emotional. I don't know. Not in the mood for that right now, but I have until December, so. The nonfiction selection is When Old Technologies Were New, Thinking About Electric Communication in the Late 19th Century by Carolyn Marvin. It's science nonfiction stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I think I heard about this on Book Riot's podcast, All the Books, which I don't listen to anymore because I just don't listen to podcasts really, but I did listen to that for a while, and they talked about this. And I think I was interested because they talk about, like, yeah, it says here, that explores how 2 of these new inventions, the telephone and the electric light, were publicly envisioned at the end of the 19th century, as seen in specialized engineering journals and popular media. Pays particular attention to the telephone, describing how it disrupted established social relations, unsettling customary ways of dividing the private person and family from the more public setting of the community, and just people's fears with using telephones, etc. And yeah, I was interested in it because the way they talked about it made it sound like they brought it up because they were talking about how people now are always like, this newfangled technology is like disrupting everything about our lives, and people are so disconnected now because of social media and this and that and the other thing. And so they were talking about this book kind of delving into that whole concept and how like that's always the case whenever there's like any new technology, that's generally how people feel. And I was like, that sounds interesting. And the two reread selections, the first one is Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I don't remember what that's about at all. Love in the Time of Cholera, I presume. I believe it's magical realism. And then the other one I'm very excited about is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. It has been a minute since I read that also. I just remember really enjoying it. That's why I kept it all these years, so time for a reread. And there we have it. Those are the books for my upcoming seasonal TBR for September to December. I still have to finish the 2 rereads for the last seasonal TBR. It's still going on. It's the beginning of August. So I have this month to read those 2 books. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.